I was first attracted to the project because of Jose's passion for it. I read the script, I was intrigued, but I wanted to know whether the person who was making this film was doing it because it was a film that was ready to go, because there was a script, because it was financed, or whether they really had a gut need to tell this story. And when I met Jose, I just knew that he had to do this story. I mean, interesting, his career, as you'll know, started with a hijack movie, his documentary Bus 174, and so in a way he's coming full circle back to a hijacking, and he doesn't want. And I knew at that meeting he didn't want to make an easy movie. He didn't want to give the audience a relaxing experience of goodies and baddies. He wanted to really examine the nature of all parties involved in this. And I just couldn't get it out of my head. I never thought that I'd actually end up doing it, funnily enough, because other things were coming along, and I felt sure that the journey of this film would go off in one direction and I'd go off in another. And then it did come together, and it was a very easy yes. I've wanted to work with Daniel since I saw him very early on, obviously, in things like Goodbye Lenin, but when I saw Rush, I thought he was just phenomenal in that. I loved his portrayal of Niki Lauda. It kind of made me fall in love with Niki Lauda in a way, just for his precision and his, not caring whether anybody liked him. I really admire. It's a quality I really admire. And I thought Daniel just encapsulated it brilliantly. And obviously portrayed his really fearless courage. But, when I was suddenly told that, that it was to be me and Daniel, and it didn't really make sense for scenes in which we spoke to each other not to be in German, it's a pretty daunting challenge, because I don't speak German, although I had learnt some German in school. But I thought, if I can pull this off, it'll be so cool, and if we can have multiple languages in this film, it will give this Babel quality, and it'll add something so vital to the texture of this movie. You'll have the French air staff, you'll have the Israeli hostages, you'll have the French hostages, you have all the different nationalities. So, ideally you'd have and the German terrorists, you'd have German spoken, Arabic spoken by the other terrorists, Hebrew and French and English being the common language. But I don't think Daniel was so supportive of the idea from the start. And some people would have said, well, that's impossible, because it's not just speaking good German. You're trying to pass yourself off as a German. I mean, I'm protected in the fact that it'll be dubbed in Germany anyway. So there's a kind of safety net there the whole time. So I suppose I've just got to be German for the international audience. But it's an amazing thing to be asked to do. Well, I think Jose is fantastic. Everything that I saw, that sort of kind of zany passion with this fierce intellect behind it, it was borne out by the experience. He's a sort of terrier for truth, and if things feel phony to him, he just kicks them out to the side. So we'll see what ends up being there. But I feel that Brigitte, my character, has really grown under his care, and I think he's really kind of liked her. And that always makes it fun when a director, likes the character, and we've built her and made her, much more interesting, I think, as we've gone on, found these moments. And, little threads that are obviously in the screenplay, which you read, have been sort of taken in some strange directions. I mean, I think, the interesting thing about a situation like this, where you've got people held in a confined space, is that it is a hothouse for human nature. And, there's the potential for explosions or breakdowns or just, general psychological disturbance. You're dealing with undernourished, underslept, gradually increasingly sick people. And that's when, it's a real melting pot for drama, I guess.
Everybody, this is a hijack situation!
Sit! Welcome to Entebbe, Uganda.
Je crois que je vais aller lui parler.
We have new orders. Come down.
They will kill 2 children.
We want to speak to the Prime Minister.
The Israeli government has agreed to negotiate.
Operation Thunderbolt will precede this plan.
エンテベ空港の7日間